Welcome to Health Coach for Women. Intentional living for more happiness and fulfillment in your everyday life with your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker. Join Marsha as she shares her own personal wellness journey, as well as stories from our guests that will enlighten and inspire you to move towards better health and happiness. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Welcome. Life is like a camera. Focus on what is important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And if things don't work out, take another shot. That's my quote for the day. And I like this quote. I don't know who it's by, but this is how we have to look at life. You know, when we capture the good times, develop from the negatives, right? The negative part of the things we go through in life. And if things don't work out, what do? We just take another shot at it. I like that quote. So that is why I'm focusing today on learning how to live an extraordinary life on purpose. So many people are living, or they're alive, I should say. They're alive and breathing, but they're not living. And why is that? Why are so many people alive yet not living? Okay, we have all these other external, not to mention with things that we may be going on within ourselves or our own family, households, things like that. But we have not only that to deal with, we have these external things that come into play with either what's going on in the world, in different parts of the world, the news, all these different things that are happening, around the world. And when we watch the news, these things can really play a mind in our psyche, right? And it is by design. I know some of you may not believe that, but it's by design for folks. It's meant to keep us stuck and keeping us at a low level of our mentality and our mood, and keeping us in this state of fear and feeling down and oppressed and anxious and worried and fearful and stressed, right? We have to look beyond that, beyond the surface of the things that we can see, right? And so how do we do that? How can we find a way to really live an extraordinary life on purpose? And now this statement doesn't mean that you have to be wealthy. This statement doesn't mean you have to be living in a 5-bedroom house. It doesn't mean that you have to have the best job, all right, or the best career. It doesn't mean that, right? But you can find a way. You can still find a way to live an extraordinary life, because you know that everything that you want and desire, you have the ability to get those things, achieve those things of what it is that you want. You have the ability to do that. But it first begins in here. And everything begins with a thought. So what we think about, we bring into existence. So how can we do that? How can we live an extraordinary life on purpose, right? The first thing is, which you probably hear me talk about all the time, is an expressing gratitude, right? Living with an attitude of gratitude. And you may not be where you want to be, right? But right now, you're where you need to be. And so you have to find a way to find the good from that and take from that. And so start out by being grateful and saying thank you. Make a list of some things that you're grateful for. If you have trouble with that, Make a list of things, right? Of the things that you are really, truly grateful for, that you love and care about. Make a list of those things and focus on those things. So that is number one. Number two, set your intentions, right? Set your intentions on what it is that you want or how you want your day to go. What are your intentions? But you have to have a positive attitude. It goes back to having that attitude of gratitude, right? So setting your intentions, that would be number two for what you want. And to piggyback on that, the next thing is set realistic goals. Be realistic in what it is that you want, and don't set a time frame that may not be achievable. You can set goals with an expected date of what you desire, what you want, or what you wish to accomplish, right? Set those goals by being realistic, right? Knowing what it is that you're able to achieve and that you'll be able to accomplish within that time frame that you set for yourself. Another thing is commit. And I left that out in my notes, but commitment. You have to really commit to what it is that you want. Okay, be willing to commit to what it is that you want. And sometimes it means going the extra mile, doing things that you don't want to do necessarily, but it's required for you to do in order to get the desired outcome that you are trying to achieve. So be willing to commit. Another thing is to be patient, right? Sometimes, we want things now, we want it right away, and I myself, I admit I'm guilty of that. I've done that and have been guilty of those things as well. I'm not excluded. We need to learn to be patient, right? Because patience is a virtue. And sometimes what I realized for me is that when things didn't come or happen when I wanted it to be, when I wanted it to happen rather, the good thing I learned from that was there was something else that I needed to learn to achieve in order for me to get what it is that I wanted. So me being patient, or whatever I wanted to happen didn't happen, something else took place that needed to happen in order for the other thing to happen. So sometimes we need to be patient because there's a reason why things aren't happening at a particular moment or at a particular time. So be patient with the whole process, right? Be patient. That's important. And definitely, if you are looking to achieve something, whether it's to finish school, start your own business, or write a book, or change careers, right? We need to be patient, right? Because that particular job that you want, it may not be at that particular company that you think that you want. It may be because something else is coming better for you that you need. Okay, you didn't get the job here at this place, but there is something better waiting for you. So it was meant to happen. And so that's why sometimes we just have to go with the flow and trust the whole process. I mentioned expressing gratitude, right? Living in the moment, right? Not stressing and worrying about the things that's happening in everyday lives. We know that stress will occur at some point, but we don't want to make it where it becomes a chronic thing where it's happening all the time, right? So express gratitude, live in the moment, right? I don't know if I mentioned it. I might have skipped that one. I think I did, but I'll come back to that one. Set your intentions, right? Be willing to commit. Be willing to commit, decide and commit to what it is that you want. Set realistic goals, right? I went over that, setting realistic goals for yourself. Being patient. And behind that, the next thing I would say behind that is have no expectations. Have no expectations, right? And so you may set a date for something, right? As I mentioned before, you may set a date for, oh no, I need this released at this time. or I need this done by this time, and it doesn't happen, right? Don't beat yourself over it. Just continue to do what you're doing, go through the process, make it better, tweak whatever needs to be tweaked, and then just go with it, ride with it. So having no expectations puts us in a frame of mind where we're not in feeling this defeat, so to speak. When you set your intentions without any expectations, you don't have that feeling of feeling either defeated or feeling like you failed at something, right? Or wasn't able to accomplish something or a goal within that amount of time that you set for yourself. So have no expectations, right? And the next thing is don't compare. Don't compare yourself to others because their journey may not be like your journey, right? Their life is different from your life. Yes, you may have similarities, but their life is different from yours, and your journey is your journey, right? So don't compare yourself of what, oh, this one was able to do this at this time, or this one was able to accomplish this. Oh, this one has this type of life, this type of life. Hey, be happy for the other person and know that you can have a beautiful life too. But you have to want it and you have to see it for yourself, right? You have to see it and believe it and want it for your own self. And so the next thing I want to mention, how you can live an extraordinary life on purpose, is also by taking care of your body, right? No one feels good when they're in pain or they feel bloated, overweight, or chronic fatigue, feeling inflammation in your body, feeling pain in your body all the time, feeling down or depressed or anxious, right? Take care of your body. And what are some of the things that you need to do to take care of your body? Staying hydrated, drinking a lot of water, eating. You've heard it before, and it's like beating a dead horse. Yes, I know, but this is what you need to do, right? Have your fluids, your water, your coconut water, things like that. More alkaline-rich foods, such as broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, kale, um, watercress, fruits and vegetables, your greens, your citrus fruits, all of these things, right? Taking care of your body. If you're not someone who loves a lot of fruits, maybe there's something else that you can take, some other type of a liquid supplement that you could take, or a powder supplement. Some people can't eat certain fruits. They have these allergies, but there's a way to still to get the nutrients that we need to take care of our bodies. So taking care of your body is important. The next thing I want to talk about is to nourish your soul. So how can you nourish your soul? You can nourish your soul by doing something that you love, right? It doesn't have to be something that you make money from. It could just be something that you enjoy doing. So whether that is being volunteering at your community center or your place of worship, maybe you like tutoring children, whatever it is that you like. Find a way to nourish your soul, right? Maybe you liked really socializing, right? And being with positive people, people just like you who are ambitious, motivated, purpose-driven, right? You're purpose-driven, and that's why you're here right now on this channel, right? You're purpose-driven, you're ambitious, you're motivated, you're determined. You want to listen to something positive and uplifting and something that will help you, motivate you, inspire you, right? And so find a way to nourish your soul by doing something that you love, right? And so for me, this podcast, I enjoy doing my podcast. I enjoy it, and it's actually beneficial for me, as well as I believe that it's beneficial for others as well. And so the next thing, and the most important thing, is discovering peace within for the ultimate happiness. This is how you can live your extraordinary life. And you can do this now. So it doesn't matter if you're making $10 an hour, $40 an hour, 60,000, 60K a month, 100K a month, right? Because we know that money does not equate to happiness, right? You already know this. You know this. Just look at some of the celebrities, right? Who are very unhappy, very, very wealthy, and very, very unhappy. So we have to discover that place of peace within us to bring us that happiness. And that's learning to find that peace within ourselves and loving ourselves unconditionally, even with our flaws, right? We're not perfect. We're not perfect, but every day we work on doing better, being better. And this is why I'm loving the journey that I'm on right now, because I'm at a place in my life where I'm excited about life, despite the things that's happening around the world, right? And I'm always in focus and praying for things and optimistic that things will get better, right? Things may become worse before they actually get better, right? And so that's part of the process that one may need to go through in order to truly heal, right? In order to truly heal. And so we have to be willing to go with the flow of life and looking at aspects of ourselves and working on the things that we need to work on within ourselves and discovering that ultimate peace, because that ultimate peace is what's going to bring you that happiness. And it's that ultimate peace and happiness that will give you the extraordinary life that you're looking for. And you can make it however you want it to be by setting your intentions, by your thoughts. So everything begins with a thought. So if you wake up in the morning, you're just happy, excited about life. You know, I don't know if you ever woke up one morning and just was happy for no reason. You don't even have a reason. It's like you took a happy pill. You're just happy for no reason, right? I know I have. I woke up like that before a few times, just happy for no reason. And I love when I feel like that. It's a beautiful feeling. And I move throughout the rest of my day in that same state of mind. But when I wake up on days when I'm not feeling that great, right? And I have this, blah, right? Sometimes the weather can do that, right? It's gloomy out, it's raining or snowing, right? And so, sometimes the weather can have an impact on our moods. And when you don't feel that great, you find a way to improve your mood, right? And so some of those things to improve your mood is doing the things that you like, right? Despite the weather, despite what may be going on elsewhere, despite what you're reading on the news or watching on the news, despite all of those things, right? Still, in here, within ourselves, we have to find that happy place. We have to find that happy spot. And that's just being happy that you are alive, being happy that you are still able to wake up and listen or watch this podcast, right? Or listening on this podcast and being able to feel the objects around you, being able to see your surroundings, right? Being able to smell the aroma of your, maybe you have some nice scented oils around the house, or maybe it's breakfast, right? Maybe you're getting ready to have breakfast and you're smelling your food as you're preparing it, and it smells so delicious and you can't wait to eat it, right? So being able to do all these things, the simple things, being able to hear the bird chirp outside the window, right? Just the simple things that we in life that we take for granted. We take so many simple things in life for granted. And we don't really realize how rich and abundant we really are. We have it. We have it. We all have it around us. And I don't care, like I said, I don't care if what you make, if you make $10 an hour, right? You're still able to do more with less if you learn how to manage and budget your finances, right? And that's another topic altogether. But you can find a way to find that happy spot and live that extraordinary life. And when you have vacations from your job, take your vacation, right? Even if you're doing a staycation, do a staycation. Maybe you're not able to take a trip away, or maybe with everything that's going on with maybe in certain places, maybe you may be unwilling to travel, or maybe you're fearful of traveling, whatever it is, right? Do a staycation. Do what it is that you want to do. Do you want to take a walk in the park? Do you want to just go visit the zoo? Do you want to just have some quiet alone time to yourself? Um, whatever it is that you want to do, make time for that. Maybe you just want to sit and spend time with your family. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, taking time out to spend with your family, those that we love and care about, right? So let's do more of those things that we enjoy. This is how you can live the extraordinary life you want, because every day that you wake up, every day that you open your eyes, it is a gift. It's another shot. Like the quote says, it's like another shot. And I'll read that quote again. So life is like a camera. Focus on what is important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And if things don't work out, take another shot. That's why I love doing quotes. Take another shot, folks. Things aren't always going to be the way we want them to be, right? Some things are out of our control, but the things that we are able to control, such as our emotions, our anger, our temper, how we feel for the day, our mood, how we feel for the day, we have control over that, right? And so when you're not feeling the greatest, or you're feeling blah, maybe just try something soothing and relaxing, sit by the window, I don't know, play your favorite gentle, soft music, relaxing music, whatever it is that it is for you, right? Sip on your tea, look out the window. I have my own little routine that I do in the morning. I like to sip on my tea, or sometimes I'll have a cup of coffee, right? And I'm just looking out the window, watching the trees, or watching the squirrel run on the wire. Simple things, but it's my routine that's relaxing for me. It helps me to gather my thoughts. It helps me to be appreciative, and it helps me to be grateful and thankful. And the funny thing is, even when I'm washing the dishes, this is how, that I know that from how I was back then to how I am now, it's a totally different mindset. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm washing the dishes, and there's a window right where the sink is. It's where I can look out. And as I'm washing the dishes, just watching the birds as they come and go, right? Bouncing from tree to tree, or just flying solo, or flying in a group, and just being appreciative, like, wow, look at them. Look at them. They're just out, just living, right? Trying to survive, of course, right? But in the meantime, they're still living, and they have the freedom to go and come as they please, right? And so even though you may not be able in a position to have maybe this total freedom as you may like, because of whatever reason, maybe you work at a 9 to 5, or you work somewhere where you really don't like your job. Don't focus on you not liking your job. Focus on how the job is going to help you get to where you want to go, right? And then that's why you express gratitude, you live in the moment, you set your intentions, you decide and commit to what you want and how you want it. You go about a plan. You set realistic goals. You be patient and having no expectations, right? And you practice your movement, taking care of your body while you nourish your soul, right? And not compare. Don't compare yourself to others. Okay, I went out of order on that one, but you get what I'm saying. So this is how you can live this extraordinary life on purpose. This is how you can do that. And this is how you can discover that ultimate peace and happiness. Simple things, simple little things. And you can do that today. You can do that right now. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so now. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe to this channel, share with others, and until next week, bye for now. Have a fabulous week.
Thank you so much for listening to Health Coach for Women with your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to rate, subscribe, and review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate that effort. Until next time.